In this video, we are going to talk about top mistakes motorcycle riders make. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Don't even think about it. It's almost impossible for a beginner motorcycle rider not to make a single mistake. That being said, it is in your best interest to take a look at a list that describes the most common mistakes so you can try your best to avoid making the same ones. No matter how much information we consume, unfortunately, we are only human. There are way too many reasons someone can make a mistake or completely forget about something, but that is a topic for a psychology book. Most riders have done it using the kill switch to stop the bike, then forgetting to take the key out, believing that they know enough. Learning is a never-ending process. You will never learn everything. It doesn't matter how many hours you've ridden a motorcycle or how many videos you've watched. There are always more variables that can present themselves when you least expect them. Becoming too social too fast. Excitement can be equally as dangerous as ignorance. Wanting to carry a passenger or race with other drivers immediately after buying your first motorcycle is understandable, but extremely dangerous. There are a lot of things that you need to learn and experience before trying anything of this sort. Keep it slow in the beginning, and don't put yourself or other people in danger. If your friends are speeding, don't do the same. It will not necessarily be the first rider that gets hit. If they make fun of you, tell them that you plan to live longer than them. Stalling their engines. Stalling your motorcycle is among the first things you are going to do. This by itself is mostly harmless. Assuming your battery is in good condition, you can keep starting quite a few times with no problems. But you will not always be in your garage when this happens. If this happens in an intersection when the light turns green, an impatient driver might hit you from behind. This is more common if your bike actually accelerates a bit before stalling. Another dangerous scenario is if your motorcycle stalls during a turn. Stalling during a turn has the added bonus of forcefully unbalancing the bike. It will feel like you apply too much rear braking. Always know how much throttle is needed to keep the engine running. If this happens during a turn, the consequences can be pretty bad. The same consequences of not rev matching apply to all manual transmission vehicles, but since motorcycles are so light and only use two wheels, you are really going to feel it. Not downshifting while stopping. When you plan to stop your motorcycle, make it a habit of gradually downshifting as you come to a stop. This will help you in various ways. For example, if you are stopping at an intersection, but the light turns green before you stop, you will have the right gear to accelerate, saving you time. When stopped at an intersection, not having neutral or first gear means that it will cost you more time to downshift all the way to the first gear, something that can put you in unnecessary danger. Not to mention that you will not be able to evade any vehicle that hasn't seen the red light. Forgetting how to steer. If you panic, you might even forget how to steer. Remember those days in school when you thought you knew the answer, but when exam time arrived, you forgot everything? There are many videos on YouTube about this topic. You will see riders dropping their bike or crashing even on very easy and wide turns. Their speed is not even that high to excuse them. What happens is that they simply forget that in order to steer, the bike has to lean, and for the bike to lean, the rider must turn the handlebars. The handlebars also need to be turned in the opposite direction of the turn counter steering. Approaching turns at high speed. It's very easy to misjudge your speed on a motorcycle. And depending on your speed, turning might not be as possible as you might think. The bike will either drop to the ground or just not turn fast enough. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you lean. Turning successfully depends on many factors. Your speed, your motorcycle's weight, and traction with the road being a few of them. New riders that go too fast are often afraid to lean as much as it's required, something that results in a crash. Slow down before turns. Target fixation. I might have mentioned this already, but it deserves a place on this list. Staring at an object that cannot provide you with any useful information not only increases the chance that you will move towards it, but reduces your overall awareness as your brain is concentrated mostly on it. Something that dramatically decreases your reaction speed. This has the highest chance of happening when you are tired, get plenty of sleep. Not checking the kickstand. Newer motorcycles make the starting of the engine impossible if it is in gear with the kickstand down. But if your bike doesn't have a safety feature like this, or if the wiring is damaged, riding with the kickstand down is extremely dangerous for obvious reasons. Even simple things like getting your motorcycle off the sidewalk can prove dangerous for either your bike or yourself. Forgetting to cancel their turn signals. Most turn signals on motorcycles do not self-cancel. Don't forget to cancel them if they have no reason to be on, because they can potentially put you in danger. Make it a habit to click the canceling button from time to time. You don't have to take your eyes off the road. Running out of fuel. If your motorcycle doesn't have a fuel gauge, it can be easy to run out of fuel without even realizing it. Make it a habit to reset the trip meter to 0 each time you visit a gas station. Make sure you always top up your fuel tank, or this won't help. This way, regardless if your motorcycle has a fuel gauge or not, you will always have an idea about how much fuel you have, assuming your driving style doesn't change. Having the right tire pressure will give you a longer distance. Having a passenger and driving aggressively will provide you with a lower. Being too close to other vehicles. Thinking as a car driver or merely ignoring the dangers of motorcycling is a severe mistake. New riders often subconsciously believe that it's more important to look in front than bothering with checking who's behind or to their side. Other motorcycles might also move next to you just because it appears that there's enough room for two, giving you no room to maneuver in case of danger. You will often see motorcycles being tailgated by cars, and the rider cannot care less. What will happen if the rider needs to brake hard? Is the rider even aware of it? Who knows? Don't be that person. Getting too close to stopped vehicles. Someone from the inside might suddenly open their door, and you might not have enough room or time to avoid an accident. If you absolutely need to get close to stopped vehicles, check their mirrors for signs of any people inside. See if the door is completely closed. If it isn't, someone might be planning to get out. Some vehicles have a lamp near the door's edge that turns on if the door is open. Use this to your advantage during the night. Stopping on a slippery surface. Just because your tires have enough grip, it doesn't mean your shoes do as well. Your foot might even be on a different kind of surface than your tires. For example, gravel, paper, and other types of garbage or foods can be extra dangerous, especially if they are wet. Be extra careful when you stop, as this is a very common reason riders lay their motorcycles down while stopped. Not wearing protective gear. A very basic set of protective gear for motorcyclists should include a helmet, a jacket, and boots. If you really don't want to wear a complete set, wear at least these 3. Protective gear will try and do its job if you get unlucky. Yes, luck does play a huge role. You can predict a lot of things, but the hardest thing to predict will always be other people. And you cannot do much about it. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.